This is ABC15 Mornings.
Getting control of the pandemic.
It's really a critical time right now.
A fight begins over mask mandates in Arizona.
Parents trying to hold their kids' worlds together.
The structure isn't there, and they don't have the ability to socialize and bounce off other kids.
The ABC15 Health Insiders with information and support for moms and dads.
We have 130 employers who have signed up to hire graduates.
The Rebound Arizona team with jobs that pay up to $70,000 a year.
They're challenging whether the tenant has applied for rental assistance.
The chance of losing your home. Why many believe the CDC eviction moratorium is a blanket protection.
It's spring, which means love could be in the air. A look at the right gift for every step of your relationship.
And Mother Nature is about to bring on the heat. Are you ready for some fun in the sun? Tubing down the Salt River. And on that note, just looking at that water makes you cool down, right? Makes you feel good about where we are headed today because we'll find comfort any way we can. Good morning to you, Kaylee O'Kelly here in studio for ABC 15 Mornings. Nick Soletti, social distancing from the newsroom.
Yeah, good morning, Kaylee. And speaking of finding comfort, I think you're really going to like the temperatures you're waking up to this morning. Walking the dog this morning felt really good. Maybe get those outdoor activities in now if you can, because it is going to be warming up. Let's check in with meteorologist Iris Hermosillo, who is right now staying on top of that most accurate forecast for us. But yeah, Iris, I mean, we're spoiled with these mornings and nights, I have to say.
And absolutely, that's the thing, right? About this time of year, even though the afternoons are warm, at least we still have our mornings and we have our evenings that are pretty comfortable for those outdoor activities. And right now, certainly that's the case. It's cooler this morning than it was yesterday as we wake up to mostly clear skies. Our temperature down to 63 degrees in Phoenix at Sky Harbor. So at least we've left the 70s behind, unlike yesterday, right? Temperatures in the low 60s now, but we'll be warming, the sun coming up. Temperatures in the 90s by this afternoon. And today is going to end up a degree hotter than yesterday as we top out at 92. And we're going to keep warming too. I'm going to show you how temperatures will trend up as we head into the weekend in that full forecast. Our Chelsea Davis, though, has been busy watching our morning drive. Chelsea, what's up on this Wednesday?
Hey, good morning, Iris. You know what? Not too much going on this morning. We do have a crash, though, that just popped up. I'll show you here with our accident log group traffic maps. Not in the North Valley. North Valley looks clear and quiet and lots of green flows. And right now, even with this crash out there, we aren't seeing it impact the freeway flows yet of the 51, but I'll keep you posted if that changes. It's in the northbound direction, closer to 32nd Street. You can see here with the ADOT cam popping up that it's in the Gore Point area. So if you were about to exit at 32nd Street, you'll see it off left. If you stay on the main lanes of the freeway, it's off right. So I'll keep you posted here as things could change. At this point, like I mentioned, green flows northbound and southbound for the 51. If you travel from the west side, your normal stop and go on I-10 into downtown Phoenix, traveling as slow as 20 miles per hour at some spots, but otherwise still moving at a pretty steady pace. East Valley looking good, into and out of Maricopa looking good, State Route 347, and overall desert drive times are about average for this time of day.
Okay, Chelsea, thank you very much. Right now, police are looking for a driver involved in a deadly hit and run. This is near 27th Avenue and Bethany Home Road where a man was hit. He was taken to the hospital, but he later died. Now, the driver involved did take off before police could get there, and right now officers are working on a vehicle description.
The debate over face masks ramping up this morning. Local leaders at odds with Governor Doug Ducey and his decision to roll back the mask enforcement. John Genovese joining us live this morning. John, we know people are dealing with COVID-19 fatigue, especially when it comes to face masks.
Exactly, Nick, and good morning to you. And what we're now seeing are local leaders really acting in defiance of the governor's order. That was the case yesterday as Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego issued a statement and reaffirmed that the Phoenix mask mandate does remain in place, and she plans to enforce it as it stands. Now, other cities like Tucson and Flagstaff have also said their mask mandates will continue despite the governor's order, claiming his decision to lift them supersedes all others. Now, Gallego says for the time being, masks are still required at Phoenix businesses and in public spaces where social distancing isn't possible. In a tweet, she says the governor's order is a case of, quote, significant government overreach, end quote. She says protecting public health must come first, and masks are the best and fastest way, in her words, to fully reopen and recover. Now, none of this changes the fact that private businesses, even where mandates are lifted, can still put in place and enforce their own rules. But given this is coming from a city and mayor against the governor, there are likely to be legal challenges to come. And just yesterday, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich issued an opinion saying that Pima County can continue to enforce its mask mandate there, but he says the governor could direct the state health department to bar local municipalities from putting these kinds of rules and mandates in place, or the governor could try to enforce his executive order on his own. What ultimately will happen remains to be seen, but guys, we'll certainly be following this and pass along any new developments as they happen.
All right, John Genovese, for now, it's kind of a patchwork of policies. Thank you for that update. Happening today, the Phoenix City Council will discuss a phased reopening of public libraries. They've been closed for in-person visits since March of last year. Now, some libraries, including the Burton Bar one, could open their buildings as early as the 19th. Libraries, of course, provide educational materials, internet access, a number of services, in addition to offering a safe way to escape our heat.
Well, the state has a new initiative underway to make COVID-19 vaccines more accessible to those living with disabilities. The health department is partnering with Passport Health and local organizations that provide services to those with disabilities to hold vaccination events. One of those coming up is this weekend at Ability 360. Officials expect to administer about 3,000 shots during this two-day event. And as of this morning, nearly 1.5 million people here in Arizona are fully vaccinated. All new for you this morning, helping you get a job in the tech industry. No college degree necessary. The Rebound Arizona's Megan Thompson giving us an in-depth look at Google's Career Certificate program, which offers skills training in just a matter of weeks.
This is meant to be done on your own time, at your own pace, in your own space. The folks at Google say their career certificates are meant to break down any barriers that may exist for you. Right now, 1.3 million jobs have the specifications of their certification process, with entry-level positions starting around $70,000.
We have 130 employers who have signed up to hire graduates of the Google Career Certificates. So they've weighed in, they've all looked at the Google Career Certificates and have decided that we're teaching exactly the skills they need for the people that they want to hire.
Lisa Gavelber is Grow with Google's vice president. She says after launching the Google Career Certificate program back in 2018, they've seen tens of thousands of graduates find success.
82% of those folks got a new job or a promotion or a raise within 6 months of completing the programs. So we know it works, and that's one of the reasons we've been able to invest again to create these additional career fields.
With the pandemic, they've now expanded the original program to include more opportunities.
So our certificates are in 4 key job fields, in project management, data analytics, IT support. Those are the folks who set up your computers and make sure they work and fix them when they don't. And user experience design, which is a really creative field. That's how it's the design of how we interact with websites or apps on our phone.
Getting people back to work and filling the needs of the technology industry, of course, important here. But Gavelber says it's also about offering equal opportunity and making sure we better represent the communities we live in.
It's really important to me to know that we are making a more equitable and inclusive job market where everyone really can live up to their potential.
To access the content, it does cost about $40 a month, but Google does offer some financial assistance tools, and they've given out 100,000 scholarships so far. If you'd like to learn some more information about this and the program, just click on this story on abc15.com/rebound. I'm Megan Thompson, ABC15 Arizona.
All right, Megan, thank you. Great advice. 6:08, the 2 best teams in the Western Conference will collide tonight in downtown Phoenix. Our Suns will host the top-ranked Utah Jazz. Tip-off is at 7 p.m.
Now, the Suns are hoping to get a 7th straight win. The Jazz winning 9 of their last 10 games. In his own words, and this will make you feel good if you're a Suns fan, Devin Booker says he expects the Suns to be locked in tonight. We like that optimism. Well, coming up next, The pandemic forcing a change in routine for all of us. New for you this morning, it's a Health Insider report for parents wondering if your kids maybe have ADD or ADHD and when to get them tested, but also why you may want to get tested for this as well.
Plus, trying to stay cool, it's almost time for opening day at the Salt River. What you need to know before making a splash.
Well, after so much time at home together during the pandemic, a staggering number of parents have questions about ADHD and ADD in kids. So this morning, our ABC15 Health Insider is taking a closer look, and he's also sharing why a diagnosis for your child could mean a diagnosis for you. The forced change in routine brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic has made remote learning especially difficult for children who thrive with a routine at school.
It's harder. I mean, at home, it's really hitting kids with ADD in the gut because the structure isn't there and they don't have the ability to socialize and bounce off other kids. And so the parent has to step in, and it's just a harder situation because they have to structure their own time more and behavior.
And let's face it, right now during COVID, we're trying to hold our own worlds together.
With so many families working and learning from home, calls to the helpline for children and adults with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, best known as CHAD, are up by 62%. The group, founded back in 1987, to help frustrated parents and kids find information and support.
It's just more than before. You're just seeing the extra stress that it's causing on these children, anxiety, some depression, feeling bad about themselves, more disorganized, and not performing like they were before.
Dr. Sanford Silverman specializes in state-of-the-art treatments for ADD and ADHD in Scottsdale. Our ABC15 Health Insider is also a former school psychologist who says distractions and sitting for long periods of time can be tough for anyone. But knowing if your child has ADHD isn't as easy to diagnose as you might think.
You have to look at, how chronic and pervasive are these issues? Is this something that's just occurring now because of some external stresses or more demands in the environment, or school's harder, or is this a pattern that we typically have?
So if your kids are showing signs of being impulsive, inattentive, or hyperactive, Silverman says it is probably time to see a professional. But kids aren't the only focus here. Some parents calling into that helpline are sharing their own struggles with time management and the ability to focus.
Further complicating the issue is ADD is typically a genetic issue. So basically, the parent is having to deal with the child's ADD, and good part of the time or percentage, one of the parents has it themselves.
And sometimes we don't know.
Right, exactly.
Which is why we're so lucky to have healthcare experts like Dr. Silverman there. Now, he also says simple changes at home can make life easier for the entire family. Hopefully we're giving you some relief here, like setting a consistent schedule and clear guidelines for everyday tasks. Our ABC15 Health Insider team is here to help you make the best informed decisions for you and your family by giving you straight answers from medical professionals and experts. And we hope that you will send your questions our way and your story ideas too. Just email us. It's healthinsider@abc15.com, and you can see all of our stories on abc15.com/health.
ABC15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
All right, thanks so much, Kaylee. Good morning, everyone. Chelsea here. I hope your day is off to an amazing start, and thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm looking at the Accident Law Group traffic maps for all of you, and right now we only have one crash on our Valley freeways. It's on the 51 if you're traveling northbound, getting closer to about 32nd Street. You're going to see some activity in the Gore Point area right as you're about to either exit there or continue on the main lanes. It looks like the camera kind of went out, but off to the right shoulder, you'll see that the tow truck's on scene. It looks like this is going to be clearing soon, so at least that's some good news. I'll keep you posted if anything changes. I-17, 303, Carefree Highway, 101, looking good. West side of town, you're just going to see your normal stop and go on I-10 making your way into downtown Phoenix. East Valley, clear, quiet. US 60, the 101, 202s all looking good so far this morning. You get that flashing green light. Desert drive times for the 101, 202 South Mountain, and even State Route 347 looking good. 13 minutes if you do want to travel from Maricopa up to I-10. Maybe you're making your way into downtown Phoenix. So those are great to just factor in this morning. And hopefully with some more good news is meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. Good morning. It's great to have you back.
Hey, good morning to you, Chelsea. Great to be back, that's for sure. And you know what? Great news if you're going to be heading out early, or maybe you've got plans to go for a walk this morning, maybe going for a walk this evening. Those are going to be great times. The not so great news, if you don't like the heat, is that midday time frame, because temperatures again are going to be warming pretty quickly. And look at our high today. We're up to 92 degrees, which is 1 degree hotter than it was yesterday. We're also nearly 10 degrees above the normal high for this time of year, which sits at 83. Luckily, still well away from the record. The record, though, is of course higher in the hundreds. So we're not talking triple digit heat, but we are talking pretty warm temperatures for this time of year. And the reason? High pressure, of course, right? That always brings the warmth. And that ridge of high pressure has been sitting to our south, and it's going to stay to our south over the course of the next several days. In fact, through the weekend and even into early next week. And so that's going to influence our temperatures, keeping our warm weather around, our unseasonably warm conditions around, with highs in the 90s every single day. Some minor changes, though, each day, and that's happening as the storm track stays mainly to our north, but as disturbances pass to our north. We had one move through yesterday, that one now moving through the Midwest, that area of low pressure, bringing some gusty winds yesterday. Today, the winds back off a bit across the state. And then going into tomorrow, we've got another disturbance that again is going to be well to our north, but it's going to bring some more breezes our way Thursday, with lingering breezes Friday into Saturday too. And then more disturbances to our north by the weekend. We'll see some high clouds moving in by Sunday, but all in all, we're still looking at a dry forecast with unfortunately no rain, no snow in sight for the high country, and instead just warm conditions that are sticking around. So our above average temperatures, they're here to stay for at least another week. Our temperature on average, 30-year average, is 83. Today we're up to 92. Tomorrow we climb another degree, then we're up another degree to 94 on Friday, and then we're peaking at 95 Saturday. I think that's as high as they'll go this time around. Not as warm as it was this past weekend. Then temperatures back down into the low 90s Sunday and low 90s early next week. This morning, though, gorgeous. Again, if you want to step outside, we've got mostly clear conditions. Look at those temperatures, 50s and 60s, with a lot of 50s out there. Phoenix Sky Harbor's at 63, but Chandler checking in at 50 degrees. It's 52 in Mesa, 59 in Glendale, and low 60s currently in Avondale. That hour-by-hour forecast looks like this. We'll be climbing back into the 80s by 11 a.m. Then our high today peaks at about 92. We'll see that high temperature around 3 to 4 o'clock. Across Arizona, look for highs in the upper 60s today in Flagstaff, 78 today in Sedona, and 94 in Bullhead City. Some breezes up north today, but then those winds pick back up across the state, including here in the valley tomorrow. Breezy through the end of the week into the weekend, with daily highs in the 90s and mild mornings.
All right, Iris, thank you. Just in time for the warmer weather, Salt River Tubing will reopen on May 1st. They had to cut things short last year because of the pandemic. Masks will be required while inside shuttles, as well as when you're renting and returning your tube. Shuttles will be limited to 20 people, and groups can't be larger than 10 people. Tube rentals will cost you $19. In honor of World Health Day, the Highlight Pro skydiving team is taking to the sky for a special display honoring our healthcare heroes. The all-female team performing this routine over Eloy at 6,000 feet above the ground, free-falling 120 miles an hour. You can see they have flags thanking Dr. Fauci, healthcare workers, and our essential workers as well. An effort to go green new this morning. Starbucks begins a new rewards program helping customers reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Then finding the right gift for romance. Whether it's a new relationship or if your love has lasted for decades, finding the right gift, it's not easy. But this morning's bulletin board may help you in more ways than one.
Thanks for watching ABC15 Arizona, streaming 24/7 on Roku and these streaming devices.
.624, finding a great gift for that special someone isn't easy, right? Lots of pressure. It's why we're sharing some simple gifting tips in today's bulletin board for every relationship stage. So let's start with maybe someone new in your life. Going with something small and personalized. Maybe it's with a detail they've shared with you, like a gift card to their favorite coffee place. If things are getting a little more serious, you could try something where you could spend time together, a gift card to something maybe your partner loves to do, or a bucket list experience they've said they've always wanted to do. And finally, for those of you in long-term relationships, a break from routine can really help. Maybe you get a little sentimental too. Think of going back to a place where you first fell in love or somewhere significant from the beginning of your relationship. We say happy gifting on that note, and that is what's on your bulletin board today.
I like that. How romantic. Hey, the Secretary of Education is looking into President Joe Biden's legal authority to forgive student loans. A new analysis shows the impact forgiving just some of that debt would have on Americans. According to Student Loan Hero, if the president forgave $10,000 per person, about 34% of borrowers would have all of their direct federal student loans erased, and another 20% would have their balances cut by at least half. Starbucks is trying something new to cut back on single-use cups. The Borrow a Cup program lets customers use a reusable cup for a $1 deposit. When you return it, you get the $1 back plus 10 reward points. The cups are then professionally sterilized so they can be used again. Next at 6:30, landlords looking to recoup some losses and tenants trying to keep a roof over their heads. Only on ABC 15 Mornings, the Let Joe Know team goes in depth on how the eviction moratorium works.
My dad got a phone call, and I just remember seeing him fall to his knees, really upset, and started crying, and I had never seen him cry before.
And that could be any of us. All new, a cancer survivor sharing her story, offering hope for others, and why your donations are needed to help give the care so many kids are in need of.